Hey guys, Ryan Cobb here with Futures Funding Inc., where we're brokers who don't suck. Pretty fun to always say that. Hey, something that I've wanted to do for a long time is I want to do on-site visits. I want to meet with some of our investors, some of our clients, and I want to just kind of get to know them, learn a little bit about the project that we just got funded for them, and kind of what they're using as their metrics, what are they using as their material, what type of return on investment, tell us a little bit about their transaction. So yeah, with all of that said, this is Mike Solis. Mike and I have known each other for, gosh, what, 15, 20 years?
Yeah, 20 years about.
To that effect.
Crazy.
So you run a real estate company. Tell me a little about what you do.
Yeah, so my background is in real estate investments. I worked with a private equity firm for a long time, helped them buy and flip or buy and hold properties. Transitioned into traditional real estate with my wife, started a team, 15 years in business now here in North County, San Diego. And yeah, we've been doing fun projects like this. We just closed on one of our Airbnbs a couple months ago. Cool. Had some funds left over, and we decided to look for a property that might make sense. And this one came across the board, so we're stoked.
So how did you come across this project?
Actually, sellers Googled real estate team in Oceanside. They called us. We interviewed with them. After really understanding their needs, right? Yeah. It's important for us to see exactly what their goals are. Mm-hmm. We kind of uncovered that they really wanted just an as-is sale. They're a little bit older. They didn't want to go to the market. There was just a lot of things there that they didn't want to have to do, right? So we offered a couple different scenarios like we do with all of our clients. We have a rehab plan that we can work through with them where we'll actually come in, get our contractors, do some work, front that money for them, and then we'll get the home sold on the market traditionally. At first they were on board, and then finally again they came back and they're like, "Listen, would you guys be interested in the property?" I said, "Absolutely. What's the number?" Right? Yeah. So we're stoked, and it was great because it made sense for them. Sure. Right? It's not a situation where you're like trying to go and take advantage of somebody's situation. They're like, "Listen, this is actually the best option for me. We need cash, quick, and we just want to get out of California." Yeah. So called you, got it done in 2 weeks, stoked, and yeah, now we're here. So this property itself, when we walked in immediately, obviously you see popcorn ceilings. That's all going to be scraped and painted. We're going to be changing out all these light fixtures with something a little bit more modern. I started ripping up the floor a couple nights ago.
Okay, so are you doing all the demo yourself?
A majority of the demo I'll do myself, yeah.
And how much money do you think you'll save by doing the demo
A couple
yourself?
Grand for sure, and it's good for me to come out here and do some work and clear my mind, right?
Yeah,
so I'm not versus for sure,
night.
because then you pay somebody and they're charging you hourly, and it's like they might take me an hour and take them 5. So
I think it's important to mention that you guys are doing this is a cosmetic flip
for sure,
right? So the way that you guys came into contact with the property, you really got it at a discount.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So when it comes down to the renovation, it doesn't necessarily need $250,000 of reno. Right. $15,000 to $30,000 you throw in, and then how long do you think you're going to complete the project and get it on the market?
So for us, I think this project will take us. I plan on having the work done in the next 3 weeks, honestly. Wow. So we're going to move quick. It's a smaller house, right? It's 1,200 square feet, 2 bedroom, 3.5 bath. But I'm not scared of work. My wife isn't. We'll get in here and do a lot of it.
So what are you doing in the kitchen? Do you mind just walking us through?
No worries. So on this one, actually, I think what we're going to do is actually keep the cabinets and just repaint them and do some new hardware.
Hardware, so what, you go like black finishes type thing?
Yeah, I'll let Jess pick all that stuff out, but
smart man.
Get all of that stuff figured out, get the cabinets fixed. If we find that we need to replace them, we have a great guy that can do it for us at a great price, so we might do that. But as we dig in and start seeing how other things look, we might just keep these, which if you're a newer investor, try and save money where you can, obviously.
That's a good tip.
This price point specifically, it's not $1 million home, right? When you start doing projects like that, it's very important that you're doing a lot of different things than you would in something like this, right? This is going to be more of a starter property for most people.
And what about the flooring in here?
So all of that's going to get demoed. Actually, that was the way the tile was when they lived here. So just to kind of give you some idea of what it was like. It was a pretty poor condition. Started opening up cabinets and sinks. Actually ran into a leak today that we weren't aware of and the seller didn't disclose, but a lot of these types of deals are like that, right? Yeah. It's somewhat of a distress situation. They just want to get out of here. So, we'll take care of that, hoping nothing comes up that's major there, but it doesn't look like
anything crazy. Light fixtures, are you changing light fixtures?
All new light fixtures, all new hardware. We may keep the subway tiling.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, we might be able to work with some of this stuff. So again, guys, depending on the project, if you have materials there you can potentially work with, this shit would actually look really nice once you get new flooring in. Right? And paint.
Look at this view. Yeah. This view is crazy beautiful. Are you going to paint the balcony at all or anything, or maybe kind of spruce that up at all? No?
That's a really good question. So on this one specifically, we kind of lucked out because they just did all new termite work through the HOA, which we ran into. Right? Yeah, they're like, "What work are you guys doing?" It's actually really great work that they're doing. They're taking care of all the termite damage and they're painting everything for us. So we actually got to remove that from our original bid. So stoked.
It's so fun.
Really like this unit. It faces west. You know, the community itself, there's a lot of other floor plans that are the same, but they're facing a parking lot. Cool. So I think that we kind of scored with
100%. Look,
a
it's
great
like
view.
beautiful. It's quiet.
For
I mean,
sure.
we're in the middle of Southern California, and I haven't heard a car or a plane. Or anything.
No, it's awesome.
Cool. Let's go downstairs. Show me what we're working with down
Yeah,
here.
for sure. Banister, we may just paint it some cool color, or might get a whole new one. We don't know yet.
Okay.
All new fixtures. Again, popcorn ceiling is going to be scraped.
All right.
Gets a little dark down here.
Hey, look at this light. This
Yeah,
That's
pretty gangster, huh? Oh, this is a fun one. There's a ton of rat turds in there.
Yeah, perfect. It wouldn't be a flip without rat turds, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Bathroom. So actually, we're going to keep the tile. There's nothing wrong with that. We can get that cleaned up with the new vinyl planking that we're going to be doing the flooring.
Okay.
It'll look great. If it looks weird, we have enough flooring to do the majority of it. This is actually a really cost-effective way to do these shower enclosures.
Okay.
In this case, it's actually in really good shape. We're probably just going to refinish it. Cool. Yeah, so that saves us some money there. Probably do new vanities on both. Obviously, the old school 1980s mirrors are coming down. Again, flooring, we're going to run the same LVP all the way through.
Okay.
If you want to take a look at this, so this is
absolutely.
one of the things that we kind of saw right off the bat here. There was a plumbing issue, so there's a huge hole in the wall here that was cut open. They never fixed that, so we're going to take care of that.
Like in the mirror.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah. You want to come look at the thing here?
So this is they had a plumbing issue, so they actually never repaired it. I mean, they kind of lived with it like that, which is pretty wild. These fans are great too. That one doesn't even work. So yeah, we're gonna be coming through and really just tearing this place apart.
And so the floor is down here as well.
Yes, everything's gonna be ripped up.
Does this stay?
Yeah, that conveys. That conveys.
What
for
is
sure.
that, dude? Is that a cat ramp?
Yeah, I don't know what
I
it is.
kinda
They have
want
their
this
dog.
for my cat ramp. My wife would love that.
For those investors watching, you know people like to leave their shit. So this was supposed to be picked up 3 days ago.
Dude, look how beautiful this is back here. Are you guys thinking about maybe turning this into a rental?
It could potentially, right? I mean, we could do that as well. So that's kind of where we're at right now with how much money we want to put into it to potentially flip it or rent it, because this would be a great rental as well.
Something that, because I know you guys were just kind of learning about hard money
when
we started. And I think it's kind of important to note to our viewers, like, how does it work?
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So a lot of people kind of think it's just fix and flips, potentially, right? So what that means is that the lenders are going to give you a specific amount towards the purchase price, and they're going to fund 100% of your renovation cost. So at the end of that, and it's a 1-year term loan, maybe 2 years if you need, can go down to 6 months as well. But at the end of that, when you're ready to sell it, right, you could do two things. You could either sell it, recoup your cash, make your profit, so on and so forth, or you can do a cash out refinance or just a refinance in of itself.
I think that's genius, yeah.
All hard money, so there's no tax returns, there's no debt to income ratio, there's none of that stuff. So it still takes anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks to close those deals. Those rates are always going to be comparable to conventional pricing.
Super cool.
So like just last week they were at 6.25. I think they're already up to like 7.5 with the volatility in the market right now. But it is important to know that is an option for you. Is to go, hey, I want a 75% loan on a 30-year fixed. What could you do for me, Ryan? And how does that work? Right. So really what it ends up being is if the rent is at least equal to the cost of the home, then basically the asset itself will qualify for what's called a DSCR loan.
Okay.
So ideally you want to have a 20% buffer there. So you want it to be 120, you want it to be 20% profitable. Right. Right. So that means that basically you will be making more than your mortgage payment is worth after you do taxes and insurance. Right. So yeah, so it's good option for you.
Yeah, great options. No, we talked about that, and actually I love the idea of having that even as a backup, right? 100%. We don't know what's going to happen in the market, right? There's a lot of things going on that are constantly changing. And if, things don't work out as planned, there's an option to potentially do something like that, which I think is really great for a lot of investors to know.
Yeah, just nice to know that you have it. And something that I find regularly with new investors, not like yourself at all, is they want to get the biggest loan possible.
Right.
And what that could potentially do is it could mess you up on the backside of the refinance.
Oh, okay,
right.
got
So
it.
if you put maybe 20% down
Right.
as opposed to as little as 10%, which I
Right.
have some lenders that can do that.
Right.
You know, putting just because you can get the biggest loan possible doesn't necessarily set you up for success down the road.
sure.
Your ARV's got to be money.
Right.
You got to make sure that the borrowing climate is strong.
For
All
sure.
those things that you really don't have a crystal ball, so you are kind of gambling when you get that 75% ARV loan, which I can go up to. So I think when you keep it below 70, that's kind of the rule, and it really kind of builds in that buffer because then you're going to refi out at 75%.
For sure.
So you're going to get some cash back, and you're not going to have to come to the table with cash.
Yep.
So people, when they get the 75% loan, they're like, hey, Ryan, I want to do a 75% cash out. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
you're actually going to be coming cash in.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
So
for
it's like
sure.
probably not in alignment with where you're at. So I think forecasting is really important.
Absolutely.
right?
And I think that's, another thing, if I can, is just, you did such a great job being fully transparent with the numbers, making it make sense for us as we
Cool.
went through this. And,
That's
we've
awesome.
done this before, but
Yeah.
by far, best hard money experience I've ever had. So thanks again.
I love
dude.
it.
Yeah,
Dude.
I
Okay, let's
appreciate
finish
it.
up. Let's
check
walk through
it
the
out.
last couple rooms and get out of your hair and let you guys go to.
Yeah, so really that's pretty much it. I mean, we're going to be doing the same thing in here. This is just a bedroom. We're going to put new flooring, scrape the ceilings, nice little view to the back. Yeah, really, again, depending on what direction we go with this, whether we hold it as a rental or if we decide to flip it, it'll really kind of depend on how much work we decide to put in.
I believe they say this has got great bones.
Yeah.